Morning. Week 5 wrap up, roundup, summary, I don't know. Anyway, we'll come back to that 300 metre time trial I just did in a minute, but let me talk you through the week. So, I know you want to know how Friday went, but you just have to wait a couple of minutes. Monday I did strength conditioning after that hard session here. And I was planning on doing some 200 reps at Newham on Tuesday, but I was fatigued. So I ended up, and you'll see on the screen now, doing 10 by 100 on the grass over at Millwall Park, which went well. Probably average 16, 17 seconds. And I then thought, right, I'm tired. God, I was tired. That I need to take nearly 2.5 full days recovery. So I didn't do anything Wednesday, Thursday. Didn't do anything all day Friday until Friday evening. And I think with hindsight that wasn't the right decision. But anyway, we'll come back to that in a sec. So yeah, let's talk Friday. From the start of the day I felt pretty sluggish. Legs were tired. I just felt heavy. And I know part of that is I feel that way every time. If I'm going to race, I get nervous, my body just feels heavy. Plus I hadn't done anything for a couple of days, so your kind of carbohydrate stores or whatever are topping up, which can give you that feeling as well. But yeah, I felt really, really heavy all day. I did a full day's work at the kitchen table, which probably wasn't optimal because I'm just sitting in the same position the whole time. Got over to Colchester about 5:30, 4:45. Did a full warm-up on the track. Felt sluggish, but more than anything I felt just nervous. And I don't know whether it's because of the broken wrist thing. I mean, getting nervous for a race is a good thing, but this was almost debilitating. I felt so so shit. Anyway, it's how I felt. I will reflect on that in the coming days, I think, but lack of racing maybe. I think it's a combination of things, but anyway. So that was how it went. So I was pretty nervous. On the evening, I started off with a 400, that's around 7:15. Did a 200 around 8:15. And then I ended up doing the final leg of the 400, 200, 200, 400 relay for the V50 team. So it was a heavy old night. What I didn't want to do is go to the well. I did not want another repeat of what happened down at Thurrock, where I just pushed way too hard before my fitness levels were up there. And yeah, so keeping that in mind, plus the nervousness, I would say it went okay. I don't have my official times yet. If I get them by the time I post this on Monday, I'll stick them up on the screen here. But my gut feel was that the 400 was around 66, 67 seconds. Came in second, ironically, to the guy who I gifted the 200 to at Thurrock a few weeks back. But I got so it went okay, but I got the pacing wrong. I was too conservative, I think, in the first 200 metres. I mean, I shouldn't have pushed a lot harder, but I could have cruised a bit stronger than I did, because I was closing on him all the way down the home straight and still had something in the tank, and we almost crossed the line together. But I would say that was a 95% effort at around 66 seconds. So yeah, I was okay. I was relatively pleased with that, especially given how nervous and shitty I felt. Then an hour later, we had the 200. And again, I was up against he's not my nemesis, he's a nice guy, but the same guy that I lost to at Thurrock when I fell over. And it was pretty much a similar story, I think it's safe to say. I did a block start for the first time in about 7 weeks, and it was incident free. And when I mean incident free, my wrist didn't hurt when I was down in the blocks, so that's good, which means I can now start practicing blocks again, because I haven't touched them in the last few weeks just for fear of stirring this thing up. I consciously cruised the bend more than last time, because last time I was just hammering it 100% from the start. And I was pretty strong down the home straight. Again, I was closing on the guy, but not going 100%. So yeah, by that time I was pretty fried. I was due to do 200 leg in the relay. One of the guys had a niggly, we've all got niggly Achilles, but he didn't want to do his 400 leg, last leg. So I agreed to swap with him. And that went okay. That was a strong, steady effort. It's a shame, because Mark was running that night. He had a good night, but he felt a twinge in his hamstring on his second 200 leg, because he was handed over to me. So by the time he got to me at the handover point, with the exception of one team, the rest of them were probably 80 metres ahead. So there was no way I was ever going to catch anyone. I didn't want to lose to the guy behind me, so it was a strong, steady effort, and I reckon that was probably I don't know, I'm just guessing. Based on how I felt at the time, and I felt like I was flying, I would say that was another 68, 69 second effort to finish the evening off. So yeah, that was Friday evening. Yesterday I did absolutely nothing at all. I mean, Friday night I had trouble sleeping because I was so frazzled. Yesterday I just felt frazzled. My nervous system felt, well, like I'd done 1,000 metres of sprint work on Friday evening before bed. And that brought us back to this morning. I wanted to do that 300 time trial. I mean, don't get me wrong, my legs, my body today, I've got no injuries, no niggles. Fantastic. Absolutely effing fantastic. But I'm carrying fatigue from Friday. But I wanted to do that 300 time trial, just one, because it's in the plan. Two, just to kind of put a benchmark in, because over the next few weeks, not this week coming, so week 6 you won't see any 300s, but once we get into week 7, 8, 9 onwards, 300 repeats rather than 200 repeats will become a lot more common, which is the right thing to do, because I've got to start getting my body used to and get my brain used to running these longer distances and going into the lactic pain cave. So I wanted to do that this morning. I'm going to have another 10 minutes chill, and then I'm just going to do some strides before I head off to M&S. So what was that? 46.8 hand timed. And I would say that was a 95% effort. Again, did I get, yeah, I'm not going to analyse that too much. But so I'm pleased with how that went. 46.8 for 300 on very tired legs on a Sunday morning, about 8:30. Happy, very happy. So where are we at? I think it's reflecting. The last 5 weeks have gone well. I'm injury free. My fitness is building, but I've still got a shitload of work to do. I've got to keep getting the weight down, because that doesn't help. And I just got to keep building. More speed work will come in now. Everything's settled down. More longer distance stuff will come in as well. We've got 5 weeks until the league final, which is on the Saturday, I think it's Saturday the 6th of September actually. I think on a previous video I might have said it was Sunday the 7th. I can't remember. On that day I'll be doing 100 and 200 and possibly the 400. Looking at last year's results, they didn't do a V60 400, they did a V50. So it all depends on who wants to do the 400 on the day, I think. And so I'll see how John Near's time was for his V50 400 that's just gone on Friday. Then I think Kev will make a decision on the back of that. And 8 weeks out to Biggleswade. So yeah, lots of work to do. But considering where I come from, I'm content with how training has gone. Would I like to be a bit faster? Yes. But it's progressed, injury free. My fitness is coming back slowly. And when I reflect back on the videos and all the training or lack of training I've done this summer, I'm not surprised in terms of the times I recorded on Friday night. Yeah, lots of positives. I'm going to wrap this week up now. As I say, I'm going to do a few strides, accelerations, then do a bit of a cool down. But otherwise, yeah, we're moving forward. So I'd say it's okay. I'm happy. I'm injury free. Not as fast as I want to be, but I'm pleased with how that 300 time trial has just gone then. If that had come in at 48, 49, I'd have been okay with it. But the fact it was 46.8 on tired legs, yeah, it's okay. Right, folks, until next week,